Hi there, I'm Tony Grant, and this is Learn English with Tony, a weekly podcast to improve your listening skills and grow your English vocabulary. Join me for a new episode every Friday, where I'll give a short talk on a theme and explore a few interesting words and phrases for you. About 12 years ago, on a trip to Hawaii's Big Island, I was lucky enough to climb Mount Mauna Kea in perfect weather. At 4,207 meters above sea level, Mauna Kea is said to be one of the tallest mountains in the world, in terms of the difference in height between its base on the ocean floor and its summit. Regular listeners will know that I like climbing mountains, but I also had another reason for going there. I wanted to explore the network of giant telescopes and astronomical observatories located at the summit. The summit of Mauna Kea is famous for its dark skies and absence of light pollution, and this makes it a perfect place for looking at the stars. And that's literally what an astronomical observatory is, a place for observing or looking at the stars. Back in the 1960s, work began on the construction of a series of large telescopes up there, and it's a really cool place. A small village of white domes sitting above the clouds at over 4,000 meters. I was lucky enough to get a tour of one of the observatories and to see the giant telescope inside. Things have moved on a lot since the Mauna Kea Science Reserve was built. Nowadays, our most powerful telescopes are not located on Earth, but up in space, where there's no light pollution at all. That allows them to see even further and to send back even clearer images of the deepest corners of the universe. For a long time, the most famous telescope in the world was the Hubble Space Telescope, which was launched into low Earth orbit in 1990. With a mirror that measures 2.4 meters in diameter, Hubble was able to capture some of the most detailed images ever seen, and it's been used for a whole list of scientific purposes, such as calculating the rate of expansion of the universe, or to put that in slightly simpler terms, the speed at which the universe is expanding or growing. Hubble has told us some scary things too. For example, it confirmed for us that there's very likely to be a black hole at the center of all galaxies. Now, I'd rather not think about that too much, so let's move along. Data from Hubble's observations also help scientists to calculate the mass and size of the Milky Way. If you're wondering, it's apparently 1.5 trillion times the mass of the Sun. I know, like most numbers in astronomy, that one is too big to be helpful for most of us. But this week, something really special happened. The James Webb Space Telescope, the newest space telescope and Hubble's successor, sent back its first images, and they did not disappoint. Measuring 6.5 meters across, the JWST's mirror has a total light collecting area about 6 times as big as Hubble's. It can see light across more wavelengths than Hubble, including infrared light. The first image from the telescope has gone viral all over the world and across the internet, and it really is something spectacular. It shows an area of space that is apparently the same size that a grain of sand would be if you held it out at arm's length. But it's full of bright lights, stars and galaxies, the light from some of them almost as old as the universe itself. That's nearly 13.8 billion years, in case you were wondering. Yep, another mind-bogglingly huge number. With a price tag of around $10 billion to build, some people might ask what the point of this telescope is, or what its value might be. Well, that's a valid question, and a tough one to answer, so I'd prefer not to try to answer it today. But perhaps by zooming out from this picture, we can find at least a part of the value of such a project. By giving us a true insight into the unimaginable size of the universe and the billions of stars and galaxies in it, we can truly get a sense of how tiny and insignificant our little planet is. As Carl Sagan told us in his 1994 Pale Blue Dot speech, the Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. And so far, it's the only place we know of that has produced life. And life and consciousness are far too precious to be located on just one tiny lump of rock. If the James Webb Space Telescope can help us locate other worlds where life as we know it could survive, then the chances of the lights not going out in the universe will increase dramatically. I'd say that's worth investing in. But what do you think? Write and tell me your thoughts on all this. And in the meantime, enjoy the views out there as the images start coming back from the James Webb Space Telescope. Thank you for listening to Learn English with Tony. If there's a topic you'd like me to talk about in a future episode, just send an email to learnenglish.mobile@britishcouncil.org. And remember, stay safe, everyone.